It's Monkey Business in the midnight hour. And I'm sultry TJ Desiree. Bringing all of your geeky goodness to you throughout the course of the night. What is going on here? What am I doing?
I don't know.
Somebody-
You're channeling
The sun is-
your inner Barry White or something.
Oh, yeah.
With the female
baby, yeah.
Neptune flytrap.
Neptune flytrap.
What?
Have you ever watched Venus Flytrap on WKRP?
WKRP.
No.
In Cincinnati? He was the nighttime DJ, the cool guy that sat in the dark.
God.
There's times where Chris should be in the dark.
Chris is always in the dark. Let's just put it that way. Hi, guys. It's Monkey
Should we
Business.
stop talking about you now?
Seriously, what would be different about any other day?
Yeah, well.
You know? All right. And this is another week of Monkey Business. And I am your host,
Today
Chris.
is definitely monkey business.
And that is Tanya. And over there is Billy.
Hi.
And Dolly is here.
Hello.
And Becca is here.
Hey. Three in a row.
3 in a row, Becca has been in the studio. We have not figured out how we got so lucky. Or unlucky, depending on how you look at it.
Depends on who it is.
And last but not least, my bouncing baby boy is yet again in the studio with me. It's the glories of summer vacation. He's able to come out and visit more often.
Da-da.
I am so going to swat you soon. Seriously.
If I don't show up for the next podcast, it was Chris Frank.
Yes. You're being accused of murder before I even commit it. I see. It was his pre-crime. We're doing Minority Report now?
Yep.
Okay.
The new show was great.
How we doing, guys?
Good.
It's as we're recording this, it's San Diego Comic-Con week.
Woohoo!
I know it's probably it's going to be like a month or so after you actually we
That's my
broadcast
dream
this one.
vacation. That's one place I really, really want to go someday.
I would love to just to see it and be a part of it for once. But I've heard so many things about SDCC over the years. Like
There's too many people.
It's gotten to be so huge. I wonder if it's maybe gotten too big for its own britches, as it were.
Did you see that the comic store from like Denver opted out this
Oh
year?
yeah, like the first time in 40 Mile High for the first time in 47 years is not going to San Diego.
Because of all the issues that they had last year.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is I know San Diego's kind of set itself up as being the hub of all nerd media.
The mecca of nerddom.
It is. It's the mecca of nerddom, but really has
it gotten too big?
I think that's what it's happened. I mean, I know New York does not have a lot of the same complaints about it. New York has managed to kind of hang on to the idea of the vendor floor, the panel rooms, etc. And being more of a comic book convention, even though it's a monstrous size. But has San Diego gotten too big?
Well, I think they were saying they've like people haven't even gotten over to that particular spot in previous years because there is so much to do and so many things to look at, and
which is a great problem to have, by no doubt.
They had like 18,000 square foot or something for Denver Mile High Comics or whatever, and they're like, we didn't see half as much traffic as they would do in previous years.
They had 18,000 square.
I want to say something along those lines.
Just for that one vendor?
I believe so. Let me look it up before.
Look that up. Go ahead, Billy.
I've heard that, and one thing I like as someone that does a ton of panels there, a writer by the name of Mark Evanier. He's a comic book and cartoon writer. Says that people say it's too big, but you can almost create your own convention just based on your likes. If all you want to do is comic
70-foot
books.
space.
How many?
It was the 70. Their one table booth in 1973 cost them $40 to rent for the weekend. When they received their booth rental for last year, the cost for their 70-foot of space had been raised to over $18,000.
All right, so that's where the 18,000 was coming
from.
So their 70-foot space was worth $18,000?
It says what made the situation nearly impossible was that the foot traffic in the exhibit hall declined dramatically last year. Even if it's at its peak Saturday afternoon, our end of the building, which was primarily comics, was uncrowded. The San Diego fire marshals were partially to blame as they put much stricter controls on the number of badge holders allowed in the building at any given time. That might not have been such a bad idea, except for to amplify the harm it already caused by an incredible proliferation of off-site events that are now being set up for the upwards of 8 blocks all around the convention center. 8 blocks around the convention center.
Oh, my God.
It says, when you can see Game of Thrones, Pokemon, and hundreds of other exhibits across from the convention hall for free, why bother going into the hall? And that's definitely a fair point. It says, to summarize, we've experienced rising costs while at the same time foot traffic in our booth plummeted. There's never been a good combination. He truly have loved the experience of exhibiting at San Diego Con, So he would have ignored those two major obstacles and still renewed his booth. The final straw, though, was the indifference that the SDCC management to the fiasco that they endured at the beginning of last year's show, when the freight handlers that they had hired failed to deliver our comics to our booth.
Okay, so they couldn't even set their booth up.
They couldn't even. You can see the picture of the empty booth. Their truck was in line at the convention marshalling yard at 6:30 on Tuesday morning. At 9 p.m. that evening, with almost all the other vendors around them unpacked and completely set up, they still didn't have their 40,000 pounds of freight.
Was there a color run in San Diego? Is that what was happening?
It could have been that they were taking logs out of the river. They had 12 workers scheduled to help them set up the day, but all they could do is sit around all day in our totally empty booth. No time during the ordeal did anyone from the convention management stop by with an apology, an explanation, or even just to commiserate. I'm like, my heart just
huge.
goes out to them being in regards to that, because I know us at Flower City Comic Con, we're much smaller scale than SDCC, much smaller scale.
Just a little.
But we make sure at least with our staff of 10 or 12 or whatever that we're going around and checking with all the vendors.
We had a total staff of board staff and volunteers. We had 33 this year.
Yeah, so I mean, and I know the vendors are like, oh my God, the staff is helping out. You're helping move the cars out and things like that. And I know, yes, trying to marshal and get stuff in, whatever. But I just can't imagine.
Well, that's how big SDCC has become. Now, Bill, you were making a point.
Sorry that I jumped in there, but
it's funny. I also want to piggyback onto some of your comments, in that you can almost create your own convention based on your interests. If you only want to see the TV stars, you can do that. If you want sci-fi, just do that. And just for 4 days, only focus on going to the comic book vendor room and look for the comic books you're looking for. But on the other side, though, you said it cost $18,000 as opposed to $70, whatever.
It was $40 in 1973. $40.
Now, granted, there should be a much higher rate, but $18,000 is insane. How is someone supposed to make that back? I mean, I can have fun looking at the comics, but
and the year before, their rent for however many days it was $16,500. So it's an additional $1,500. Unless
someone buys a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15 or something from you, which is the first appearance of Spider-Man.
Right.
It's going to be, maybe it won't be hard to make it back, but it seems like it would be.
I'm looking at the pictures, and I don't know. They had a 50% off comic sale on there from their America's largest comics dealer, Mile High Comics.
We're feeling quite the bargain right now.
How about we invite them to Rochester and charge them $70?
I charge them for 2 booths. That'd be like what, $500 at ours.
Something like that.
Guys, come set up 30 feet and for $500. We'll have you over.
But still, 70 feet, and it's like, I don't even know. I'm assuming 70 feet long, 10 feet deep.
Yeah, because it was just a wall.
It's just a wall.
In essence, think
comics.
the back wall of the Lilac Room. Really, they own it for $18,000. Wow.
You could own it. You can own the whole Lilac Room for $18,000.
Seriously.
It'll be Flower City Comic Con and Mile High Comics.
No. Flower City Comic Con presents Mile High Comics with some panels. That's about it. That would be the way it would work.
So yes, please come to Rochester, type thing.
I'll do it. I'll call them.
Brian, get on that. But and they had been going to San Diego Comic Con for 44 years.
Yeah. See, to me, that shows me bad business sense, because if you have such a perennial favorite,
not to knock SDCC, because they're huge.
They're obviously doing something a lot better than we are.
Does it get to the point where it doesn't matter to them anymore?
And that's the thing. It always should. That's I don't know. If we ever start treating people like that, then we've done something wrong. That's all I got to say. But that's my commentary on that. Hey, Dolly, you got $18,000 for 70 feet?
I do not, but
She's got
the
8
one thing
cents.
I like about this, I get excited about San Diego Comic Con. It's because all the announcements come out. Like, they wait for D23 Expo for Disney, and you get all the announcements for that, and then you get San Diego Con, and like you get all this fun nerd information.
There have been
that
seriously
keeps
some
coming
good
out.
trailers coming out, too, the past couple of days.
I
I've
mean,
posted
they
a few of them
announced
to the
Captain
Facebook.
Marvel.
Yeah. What's that?
They announced the Captain Marvel
Did they
movie.
really? I missed that
And
one.
she's going to be taking place in the 90s.
Really?
Yes. So it's going to be...
And that's Brie Larson, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, Brie Larson is Captain
So
Marvel.
I'm interested in that. So
Okay.
I like finding out all these little fun things. Like, again, I love Archer, so they've announced Archer's new season is going to take place.
Well, I saw the latest Justice League trailer. I saw... What other trailer did I see? I posted a few of them to our Facebook. Thor, thank you. Thor Ragnarok.
Yes, I did see that one.
That was funny. It was funny, especially the tail end of the trailer when it's just Thor and Hulk talking, and Hulk's like, I'm like fire. I'm big smoldering fire. Okay, yeah, whatever, Hulk.
We actually saw it in Russian first.
Yeah, I saw international trailer get posted. I'm like, all right, let's see what this is all about. And they're all speaking with the Russian dub. I'm like, oh, I don't understand this. Damn. Okay. Okay, Captain Marvel is going to be set in the 90s. I wonder what that's going to do to Marvel continuity. I really do, because...
Origin story?
Well, yeah, they'll probably do that, but how is it going to fit into the MCU and how, because she's supposed to feature in Infinity War.
I know, that's why it's... I get fascinated by things. I'm like, how is this going to work?
It's going to be interesting to see those interviews and whatnot. Cool.
See,
what else?
The one thing, Captain Marvel, the first thing I think of when I think of Captain Marvel is Shazam.
Yeah, you think of the DC
character,
title. Yeah.
Formerly Fawcett. And so when I hear Captain Marvel, I read the Marvel book, but my first instinct, because there's also news about a Shazam, a Shazam movie with and I get The Rock, who is going to play Black Adam.
That he's not going to.
He's not going to be in the Shazam movie.
Do we have Shazam? Do we have a guy who's doing that yet?
Not that I know.
He's in the cast,
of.
so we know more about the villain than we do about the hero.
Yeah,
that's interesting. That's fair.
But I mean, it was fun to see that they officially it's official. He's not going to be
The Rock.
Shazam.
Yeah, he's Black Adam, and so I'm wondering who's going to be Billy Batson / Captain Marvel, Shazam. Because there was that TV show that I loved in the 70s.
Back in the 70s. Yeah. When basically the DC stars, owned 70s Saturday morning television, ISIS and
strangely, a hero named Isis.
Yes.
Back in the 70s.
Well, the Egyptian goddess.
Yeah.
She came a long time before the morons in the Middle East.
Sure did.
So I have a friend of mine who's loves Egyptology. She loves studying it. She loves everything about Egyptology, pyramids, pharaohs, the works, the fashion, the hieroglyphics, the history of it. And her license plate actually had ISIS on it with other, so I'm not throwing her into the bus. She finally just buckled and had it changed recently because she was getting so much shit for it.
She should have said, it says is.
Yeah, is. Yeah.
Like at.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's an at.
It was. All right. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-huh. So where else where are we going here? Where are we going today? We're going to talk about some other things, or are we going to talk about the trailers that we've seen?
We've got a new Stranger Things trailer.
Stranger Things. I missed it. Tell us about it, Beck.
Ooh, okay. So we've got a new monster, but from what it's looking like in the new trailer, only Will can see it. And poor Will's kind of just caught in the flashbacks.
Okay.
Didn't he start to see something at the end of the first season? Is that...
Yeah, it's kind of following that. It seems like we've got a new mad scientist.
Okay.
The actor of whom, according to the Binghamton University Instagram page, is apparently an alumni of SUNY Binghamton.
A local boy.
Yeah.
Girl. Boy or girl?
Boy.
Local boy. Very nice.
We've got the kids decked out as the Ghostbusters.
Oh, smashing.
Yes,
with the Ghostbusters
smashing
theme playing in the background.
Nice. Oh, Nick will be happy about that. Our local Ghostbuster, he's going to be really pleased about that.
Oh,
so.
Is it another reboot of Ghostbusters?
And it's featuring Michael Jackson's Thriller.
I heard there's going to be another one working out, yeah. Are they working on a sequel to Ghostbusters now?
I did read something about it that they're talking about because next year is the 35th anniversary, I believe, of the original movie. And they've announced that they are going to make
2019.
They're going to make a movie or something, but they haven't officially said if it's going to be animated or live action.
Oh, okay. So they haven't decided if it's going to be the current caster or something else.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's just
Dolly.
It just bothers me. Everyone calls it a reboot. It's again the nerd in me with the semantics of like average and mean, and it's like reboot and remake are two different things. Reboot is when you continue the storyline from the original, like Jurassic World did. It was a reboot. And then remake is when you
2009 Star Trek.
Completely different
Can
story.
I tell you, I loved the cartoon reboot.
Yes.
That one was awesome. I love the cartoon. Are you?
My chair broke.
The chairs breaking?
My chair broke on me here. Hang on a second. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Jeez.
No, but it was like that was like one of like my favorite cartoons. I think I was still like in my 20s when it came out. But
I got it.
are you sure?
Yep. I have a English major, political science minor, so I actually know how to engineer a chair. There we go.
Hopefully.
I feel better about myself now.
Boom! Right to the floor.
Yeah, well, that's coming.
Like Canada.
1 tequila, 2 tequila.
Stop. We were visiting my cousin who lives up in Ottawa a few years back, and she had an old dining room set. And I was sitting in the chair, just sitting there, minding my own business, chatting with my cousin, and all of a sudden the chair gave out from under me. And I'm sitting on the floor, and the chair is going in 6 different directions. And this one has not. He has failed to let me forget that. So he just likes to bring up.
Don't worry, we've got lots of stories about even Ian that we can bring up.
Oh, I know.
I have made...
And your mad spelling skills.
So you might want to...
Spell stupid. Shut up.
No, I think it's Bob.
Bob's.
Yep.
Yeah. He's turning red, so we'll divert.
So there's... and it's like just going back to some of the other cartoons. It's like Transformers Beast Wars.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
That one is much better than some of the other Transformers movies.
Transformers.
Or at least cartoon series, but we liked Beast Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I'm at with DC right now. All I watch is the animated movies. Like, I finally watched
Young Justice.
I love Young Justice. Oh, they announced
Season 3.
Yes,
they
they
both
announced
went,
that
they
too.
both went and
Season 3 Young Justice. That announcement's been out for a little while now.
Well, no, they announced like
They announced
the
the
way
team?
the characters are gonna
Yeah,
look
they got new
and stuff
character
like
designs.
That. Yes, that was announced.
New
fast.
character designs?
Beautiful.
Nice.
And also like new characters.
Could you look
Okay.
They've got what's her name?
what's her name?
I love her.
I love
She's
her.
like-
She's
I love what's her name.
What's her name is my
She's like one of the
favorite.
girls. I think one of the girls who's either like became Batgirl.
Oh,
Barbara Gordon?
No. Later
Stephanie
one.
Brown.
I think
Oh, she's going to be in it?
who she was before she became Batgirl.
Oh, I see.
I'm trying to remember the name.
Oh, I
Of
don't
the
know
hero.
enough about the DC stuff.
Katrina Robinson.
Are you just firing off names for the fun of it?
Yes, I'm trying to jog her memory.
All right.
Well,
There's
let's see.
Arrowette.
Tracy. Yep.
Well, I've got Young Justice up here right now.
Okay.
So
My
Spoiler, that was her name.
Spoiler?
Stephanie
Spoiler.
Brown is spoiler.
Yes.
She originally appears briefly as a civilian in season 2.
And
Interesting.
Arrowette was previously a civilian who
In
was
season
saved
1.
by Green Arrow and
Arrowette.
no.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
Kinda like Beast Boy was in
season 3
1.
editions, Roy Harper is Arsenal.
Okay.
He's coming in as season
right.
3.
He appeared in season 2.
I'm vaguely curious how how DC comes up with its naming conventions is very interesting. Arrowette. I'm going to chalk Arrowette right up there with Matter Eating Lad.
No,
Matter eating lad.
Matter Eater Lad.
Matter Eater
He's
Lad.
a member of the Legion of Superheroes in the 30th century.
He had to start eating everything in sight.
Okay,
And strangely enough, he came from the planet Bismol.
Bismol?
Was it pink?
Oh, sure
Don't know.
it was. I'm sure it was.
And talking about comics.
All right, so Young Justice season 3 is coming on. I enjoyed Young Justice. That was a good series.
I think I'm going to have to start watching it.
Stranger Things season 2.
We've also got season 3 of Voltron Legendary Defenders.
Oh,
coming
good,
out.
good.
August 4th, it's coming.
I'm enjoying that.
When is
That's
it?
a good
August
series.
4th?
That's what I heard. I swear.
Oh, hold on.
August 4th.
Voltron season 3.
That's going up. Have you seen season 2 yet, Ian?
No.
I watched it one weekend.
Shows Lotar and a new Black Lion plot.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
I'm so excited.
Hold on.
He got too cocky. We chopped off his arm. Sorry.
That's already happened, dude.
Oh, release date. Hold
I know.
on.
Other one.
Yes, August. You're right. Check out the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like a second new trailer out.
Lions.
Lotor has arrived.
He says if they don't have the Black Lion, they can't farm Voltron. How does they know that they don't have the Black Lion?
But seriously, Lotor, the son of Zarkon, has arrived.
And he was more interesting as in the classic 80s series. He was more interesting than his.
People are hoping he's going to be like that.
Okay.
Like just flamboyant and
Yeah.
everything. We're just,
The story straight from DreamWorks. It picks up in the wake of Zarkon's defeat and Shiro's disappearance as the Paladins struggle to move forward with no one able to pilot the Black Lion or the ability to form Voltron. The team must quickly devise a plan as the ascension of Prince Lotor and his generals pulls the team into a perilous game of cat and mouse to test their unity and abilities more than ever.
I think that's going to be good because that's been a good story so far. They've done a really good job with that series.
Even my little one's like, can we rewatch Voltron?
You know what I want? I want more character development on Lance.
Okay.
I feel like poor Lance is just...
Poor Lance is getting pocketed.
He's written off as like the comic.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Is Lance the red lion?
Current blue.
No, blue.
Blue, okay.
Current blue.
Well,
if they're going to follow the series, then eventually then Keith will probably get the black. If they follow the old school. And then Lance will get the red. And then Allura gets the blue.
In the trailer... I swear Lance is in the red line.
Okay.
It's like red in the background, but he's still wearing the blue paladin suit.
Well, that's the thing. That was the thing that always threw me off in the 80s when I was watching it as a high school kid myself, is that the pilots, the space protectors, they were not called paladins at the time, were not the space explorers. They were not, their outfit was not matched to the lion. Like Keith wore red. And Lance wore blue, and Pidge wore green, and Hunk wore yellow. Great, and then of course Allura was so stereotypical; she wore pink. But the only ones that matched up were Hunk and Pidge, and then the rest of them were all shuffled around. And so you're like, okay, what's this all about? I guess whatever. They're comfortable. That's fine. But I'm wondering if that's what they're doing. Is they're kind of like patterning themselves after the '80s, but they're telling the story slightly different, but going in the same path.
I don't know.
Okay, so the news, the trailer at SDCC, there was also an exclusive con trailer that featured shots that weren't in the trailer that's on like Den of Geek. So the shots included flashback shots of Zarkon and L4 as paladins. We see them near a comet streaking down towards the planet. There's a shot of Zarkon possibly killing L4.
No.
That's in the trailer that people.
Well,
at
that's
SDCC.
the big reveal is that Zarkon was the original Black Paladin.
Right,
I know. I'm just
so that was kind of neat.
And then Lotor says, if they don't have the Black Lion, how come they can't form Voltron? There's a ton of action, including the Yellow Lion doing a screwdriver through an asteroid.
Nice.
It says Allura walks away from the Blue Lion, and the shield goes down. She turns to look at it. An eye opens that looks like Shiro's.
I've seen...
And a later tease of the third season was shown that didn't show his face, but we did hear his voice along with clips of Zarkon's forces taking out a planet's civilization. That video is currently not available online.
Okay, well, if it comes up out online, we're going to put it up on the FC3 Facebook.
It is August 4th, 2017. It's only 7 episodes, but the good news is that there will be a 4th season following in October.
Ooh,
there
man.
was nobody.
Right on top of each other.
August and October. Woo!
I saw a photo of Matt Holt.
And who's that?
He's Pidge's older brother.
Okay.
That she's looking for.
Okay.
And
because that was the whole thing.
That's why she was like out with the antenna.
Okay. That's been Pidge's little subplot, is looking for her brother.
There was nobody to pilot
exists,
the Black Lion.
Okay.
And he might just be in the next season. People are just hyped.
Nice. You see, I love the excitement that's coming out of Becca right now. That's just so cool. That's awesome.
And it's been a really cool series. I mean,
I have
love
enjoyed
the
it.
original
Yeah.
Voltron
episode hosted by Becca.
I remember back when I was in college and we were laughing about all the good the good cartoons that in the anime that we were just starting to get used to back in the 80s and whatnot. And a buddy of mine decided he was going to design the Paisley he was the Paisley lion.
Paisley?
Yeah, the Paisley lion, which could basically fit in for any of the other lions because it was so fluid. And he was very proud of himself for his idea. He felt it was very forward thinking. And but yeah, the Paisley lion, which could take the place of any of the other 5,
That's a very flexible lion.
Yep. So I'm like, all right, dude, have fun with that.
But yeah, more in depth on Lance. Because he talks about like, I'm the sharpshooter, but then he's like complaining. He like talks about being like the 7th wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And people on the internet have taken that line and just run with it.
Oh, really?
In theorizing and everything.
Uh-huh.
And especially look at in the first episode where they have like the mind meld helmets on or whatever.
Okay.
And it's got the photo and it's just his giant family. There has to be some effect of him going from living with all these people to living with like 6 other people who don't always pay attention to him, usually kind of brush him off because he's the jokester.
Uh-huh.
It's got to have some impact on the poor kid.
All right. As an only child, I wouldn't know, but...
And there was silence.
Ian sends...
I missed my cue. I should have played the crickets.
There it is. Ian hands me a note, goes, there was no one to pilot the Black Lion, so they had to call an Uber.
Oh, stop.
He's asking for one.
There it is.
That was just wrong.
I think that's why he didn't say it. He wrote it down and handed it to me so I could be the one to take the brunt of that.
So what else are we looking forward to?
There's things I'm not looking forward to. But
tell me something you're not looking forward to.
DC and their movieverse, I mean,
Justice League?
They're rushing all their storylines. So, of course, the Flash movie is going to be Flashpoint.
Yeah, they just announced that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's gonna be
that's why, again, I'm like, they're rushing their storylines. I mean, there's so much to do, and
they just did Flashpoint in the TV show too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love the animated version.
That's great.
I wonder if it's still on
There was a new Justice League trailer that came out because of San Diego. And I posted it up to the FC3 board, so it's out there. So if your listeners are interested, just track it down. It's also on YouTube, so it shouldn't be easy or it shouldn't be too hard to find.
I think it looks good.
I think it looks okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. I see here things people have gotten. I'm wondering what's the bigger thing that Justice League has to worry about, itself or the people's already negative opinion of it?
Yeah, the perception before it even exists.
The perception, I think, is going to kill the movie before the movie actually kills itself. That's the thing. I think this is going to be a decent movie.
Then there's the ongoing rumors or truth or whatever that Ben Affleck's already bailed on being Batman or been kicked off of being Batman.
He released, I was keeping up on that over the past couple of weeks, but there was an article that came out just yesterday where he's like, no, I'm here. I'm sticking with it. I don't know what everybody's saying, but everything's okay by me. I'm good.
Well, the rumors, I think, started because he backed out of directing the Batman movie. And he was going to direct the solo Batman movie.
Right.
And
then they scrapped his script that he wrote.
They scrapped everything.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't give him a good script. So, I mean, I can respect Ben Affleck for that because he didn't want to just put out just another crappy DC movie. He wanted a good script.
What? Your mother's name is Martha? My name's Martha, too. I'm going to say
strangely, you know what would have been hilarious? Has anybody seen the new Spider-Man yet?
Yes.
Not yet.
I had
It's awesome, but it would have been even more awesome if Peter Parker and Michael Keaton's Vulture both had Aunt May.
I loved him.
He was great.
Awesome. He was
Michael
terrifying.
Keaton is awesome. That's the thing.
I know, but he terrified me.
Yeah, and he's supposed to.
And I'm an adult, and I was terrified of Michael Keaton.
Everybody's, like, from my generation, everybody's so used to Michael Keaton, the comic actor. And then he threw everybody off with Batman. It's like, wait a minute, Michael Keaton should not be able to play this part. And then he nailed it.
And then definitely in Spider-Man.
Right.
It was just like, whoa.
Right. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
In Birdman. He did Birdman.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I haven't seen that movie. One with Emma Stone.
I think it's interesting. He went from Birdman to playing the Vulture.
There's a step.
First
he was a bat.
His superhero days are not over yet.
So
he was a bat,
Birdman.
and then he was a bird, and now he's a vulture.
Yeah, but I mean, Birdman was more. It was not really
drama. Yeah,
a comic.
No,
it was a mental
Yeah.
It was all in his head. Everything was going on. It was an interesting movie. It wasn't Birdman, but
I've heard it was
a
quite good.
Movie.
Yeah. I'll watch it just for Emma Stone.
Have you seen the new Defenders trailer?
Yes, I did that and I posted it.
On my list.
It was the trailer itself. If the trailer is any indication of the series is going to be so cool.
And one thing I like is that the series is only going to be 8 episodes as opposed to the 12.
Good,
or
they're not going
13.
to drag it out. Good.
Yeah.
Kinda
Which
sad.
you think you think there'd be more episodes because there's more characters. I
think what they're going to do is they're going to try and tell the tighter story at this point. They're going to try and show, without the fluff. They're going to just get to the point at this. And Sigourney Weaver is the villain.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver is the villain. I'm going to say that again one more time. Sigourney Weaver is the villain. Holy Moses.
What?
Yeah. What is that all about? That is going to be so cool.
BoJack Horseman reference.
What?
What's the villain's name?
We don't know the character name yet, do we?
Oh, hold on a second.
We'll see if we can find that.
Maybe. Alexandra, the head of an ancient she's the head of hand, I guess.
Oh, boy.
Weaver describes the character as really smart, very in charge, and more of an adversary than a villain.
Uh-huh.
She is in full-on Power Shaw Sub-Zero bitch mode.
Oh, goody. That's descriptive.
Like in Heather's Mega Bitch.
Terms like Ice Queen that are often thrown at women who aren't completely okay. So she's trying to avoid the cliche portrayal of Ice Queen.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sophisticated, intellectual, dangerous. I'm sorry, I can only say a bunch of adjectives right now. Okay. Her character's a very powerful force in New York City.
I do like in the trailer how they return back to the dojo there, and Iron Fist is trying to feed everybody. He's catering in the dinner again like he has been in the past, and they're like, no, we're not going to sit down and eat. No, what is that, shrimp? And then Daredevil's actually, he's got the blindfold over his face, and he's picking out, no, that guy's got this, and Jessica just looks at him, you're a freak. It's definitely a good dynamic between the four of them. I think it's going to be a very interesting series. And that's coming out, right? That's coming out soon.
It's August. Hold on.
So we only got a few more weeks.
18th.
Yeah, August 18th.
August 18th. Hell, by the time this thing is airing, we might actually be watching it already. That's awesome.
Oh, and it was fantastic.
And it was awesome. It was amazing. And then there was the thing, and then the other thing happened.
I love that thing.
That was a great thing.
It was a great thing.
You see when the guy kicked the other guy?
Yeah. And then the other guy punched the other guy.
Can you believe Daredevil could see the whole time?
He could. He was making it up. He was making it up.
They were always eye. What were they called? Eye. You put them in your eye, and they changed the eye color.
Contacts. Yeah, it was just contacts that were. Yeah. Okay.
He was always moving his eyes. People just didn't notice.
Yes. And then
I know that Iron Fist is getting a new showrunner.
Right, and he's got a season 2.
Yeah, he got a season 2
and a new showrunner. So hopefully that'll make that story come back alive a little bit more because people really down the hell out of Iron Fist.
It just went too long.
I think they could have done more with it, but that's right. It dragged.
They rushed the production. I mean, it was a good story.
And there was parts of Luke Cage that went too long.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Cage ran out of story, and this kept going for more episodes. That's why I felt with Luke Cage. I felt like Iron Fist had a good story. It's just the...
What do you think of the 2 seasons of Daredevil so far, though?
Both excellent.
I love both seasons of Daredevil. Elektra, I'm not like... I know she's like an amazing like martial artist and she like has all these black belts and everything. I just think she looks like she's going to like keel over at any minute from like starvation.
Yeah, she needs a sandwich.
Yeah.
And now Jessica Jones. They're firing up a season 2 of Jessica Jones.
Yes, I hope that may be my favorite of the Marvel Netflix shows.
Let me watch it.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant to let them watch a lot of this stuff just yet.
I stopped at episode 5 of Daredevil.
And
then the second season was announced like R.
Yeah.
My dad's like, stop watching. I was like, okay, episode 5, the guy's head got impaled on a spike. I'll stop for now.
I want to watch that one.
No, I can't. I just want to see Jessica Jones.
I'm the kid that giggles as the head rolls across the screen. That's me.
No, sometimes I'm okay with it, but if it's like really gruesome, I'm just like, ouch for the count.
Dolly, do not influence Ian. Ian, do not influence Dolly. That's enough.
And don't leave me in the middle of it.
You can ask my brother. I'm a bad influence.
Yeah. Well, you share the same bloodline. You're both Puerto Rican, so.
Well, my nephew in the shower recites Cobra Kai.
Okay. That's great.
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
Yeah.
Because we do taekwondo.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg, Johnny!
Sweep the leg.
I laugh during the Saw movies.
The fact that you've seen those makes me very unhappy. I will just throw that out there for nothing.
Seen them.
I've seen them.
I will watch them.
Full Sail alumni
one horror movie and I
directed them. One of the movies.
So there's a lot of good stuff coming out. There's a lot of stuff I have not seen yet. I still have to this date. Why? I don't know. It's just a matter of timing. I have not had a chance to see Wonder Woman. I have not had a chance to see Spider-Man. What are the other good ones that are out right now?
I want to see Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes. I haven't seen that.
Dunkirk is good.
Valerian.
Dunkirk.
I'm watching that.
Valerian.
I'm watching that next.
Valerian just came out. The guy who did my tattoo, Jason Ferguson, which by the way, my tattoo looks freaking awesome because Jason Ferguson is amazing. He was telling, he's heading out to Valerian, and he goes, I'm so looking forward to this. And Valerian is cool because Valerian is like a throwback for comic book lovers. It's commonly attributed. It's a French graphic novel or French comic series that came out like at the early 1900s. It's commonly kind of pointed at by some comic historians as the grandfather of the entire industry. Superheroes and comic strips and things like that kind of started evolving because of this strip. And I know that the name wasn't Valerian, it was something else, but Valerian is the main character. And so it's commonly said that this was like the granddaddy of comic books. And to have a movie based on that, made by the guy who made Fifth Element, which Fifth Element is one of my favorite friggin' movies. You've heard me talk about that on several occasions.
Go watch it.
Oh, absolutely. So Luke Besson behind this. Oh yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah, I showed my brother a trailer. I'm like, I want to watch this movie. He's like, oh, let me know when you're watching it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this has got to happen. This has got to happen soon.
I'm watching it. Can
Rutger Hauer?
You just said
Rutger Hauer's in Valerian?
Yes.
I did not know that.
As the president of the World State Federation.
That's cool. That is very cool.
Rihanna as Bubble, a shape-shifting entertainer.
Yep, I've seen her in the trailers.
Ethan Hawke I've
seen in the trailers.
John Goodman is the voice of some.
Yeah, there's a lot of CGI characters, so I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of voice acting going on in it. A lot of motion capture. If there's motion capture, I'm almost anticipating to see Andy Serkis on the cast list because he's like the grandmaster of motion cap acting these days.
They're talking about an Oscar nomination for Planet of the Apes for him.
Well, the man is impressive. I've seen him doing spots. I just saw it the other day on YouTube, as a matter of fact, where he was doing this whole thing about what it means to be a motion capture actor, and it's not just voices, but how you do the physicality, and then you're in the suit and you have to kind of imagine where you are, and he was doing a bit of how he jumps into the Caesar character for Planet of the Apes, and he's done Gollum. He's done all of these huge parts throughout movies in the past 10 years. And you're like, this man is probably one of the greatest actors of the current generation because of just his ability to morph into these various characters.
You wouldn't know it's him.
You don't. I mean, he's even able to do the voices, and it's impressive as hell. This guy is amazing, absolutely amazing. So yeah, I would not be surprised if he pops up on the list for Valerian.
Well, what was the name again?
Andy Serkis, Serkis. Circus, I don't know. Circus Maximus.
Now, one of the things I'm looking forward to, and I've mentioned it in the past podcast, but the Riff Tracks, which is the Mystery Science Theater 3000 style mocking of some sci-fi, or what they're doing, the Five Doctors on August 17th.
I know that.
And I will be going.
Black Panther. Sorry.
When's Black Panther come out?
2018.
The guy he just mentioned.
Oh,
Chadwick.
Andy Serkis is Ulysses Claw in Black Panther.
Right.
He is not listed.
He had the cameo not so much a cameo, but the bit part in Age of Ultron.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He is not listed at all in regards to Valerian.
Okay. I'm not saying I wouldn't be surprised, but where's the Riff Tracks Doctor Who going to be?
They're always at Tinseltown, and usually the Webster Theater also.
Okay.
So I get a chance to see some old Doctor Who with some help from
what time's that going to be?
It's usually 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock?
Yeah.
All right. I'm putting that on my calendar.
I want to go to that.
What day was that?
August 17th. It's a Thursday.
Put that in my calendar.
I want to say I already had that in my calendar.
Dolly, what you thinking of?
Oh, I'm trying to think if I'd
all
be
day.
available.
It's listed as all day.
Oh, excellent. It's a marathon.
I'm looking at you and you have that face.
I know. I'm like, August, I'll still be at Orange Belt, so I won't be able to go.
I saw that they were doing one on the
24th
also.
It's a replay.
How's that coming along?
The one on the 17th.
It's going to be a green belt in September. I'm testing.
All right.
I'm super excited.
Now, where's green belt in the path of things? Is that like first, second, third belt, fourth belt?
I moved from low belt class to high belt class.
Okay.
So I'm transitioning. I get to actually start sparring.
So what other color belts do you have so far? You have the white.
White, yellow, orange, and then I'll be low green.
Okay. Congratulations.
I'm super excited about that.
Nice.
Kick the children.
Yeah.
Punt.
I get to start sparring.
Punt babies.
We'll offer Ian up for you.
Yeah.
Yay.
If you need a target dummy. Or just
Emphasis
a regular
on the dummy.
Or just a regular dummy.
We'll get him to spell dummy.
Hey, there it is. I knew that was coming back at me.
Yep.
I knew that was coming back at me somewhere along the line.
Where are we at, Billy?
We are at 38 minutes.
38 minutes.
39.
Did you not hit record again?
Okay, there's our practice.
That's our practice conversation.
No, 39 minutes we're at.
39 minutes.
Quit. All right.
That's
just
all right.
wondering.
That's good. All right, so we got a lot of things that we have not yet done this summer, things that we are looking forward to this summer.
Or not looking forward to.
Things that we're not looking forward to this summer. And I don't know. I don't understand the Justice League hate at this point. I get that their track record is not strong.
Flash.
Well, other than a quick cameo
Cyborg.
in Batman versus Superman.
Why Cyborg? Because I think he looks okay.
I'm going to have to check out the new one, the new trailer, because the last trailer, this looked bad.
It looked very animated, very cartoonish. Yeah. But I do like Ezra Miller as Barry Allen so far. There's that one scene at the top of the roof, and they're all talking to Commissioner Gordon, and he turns around and he looks away at something, and he looks back, and they're all gone except for Barry Allen. He's sitting there in his Flash outfit, and he's like, "Wow, they do disappear like that. That's rude." And then he zips off. So it was just, you can see the kind of, he's got that Barry Allen kind of innocent comedic look at the world. And, and so I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think Justice League will be a decent movie. Will it blow the doors off of things? I don't think so. Will it be bad? I hope not.
Well, Marvel's not perfect.
Marvel is not perfect. Marvel's throws some gopher balls out there.
And not necessarily bad, but in retrospect, Doctor Strange maybe not as good as a bunch of the other movies.
All right. We can get into that some other time.
Okay.
Definitely. But what else is coming? Do we have anything coming up this fall? Anything big coming up? Thor Ragnarok is coming out in the fall.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's on Jules' birthday. She's
it's funny.
upset about that.
I just saw. It's like not sci-fi related or whatever, but I just saw a preview for the movie Kidnap with Halle Berry.
I hate those sleeping kids.
That they must have been like in a park or something and whatever. And then all of a sudden, her child has been kidnapped and she goes full postal.
Oh, so it's like Taken instead of Liam Neeson, it's Halle Berry?
Something similar to that regard.
Right.
So.
Interesting.
And just like
I'm not aware of that movie's existence until just now.
I wasn't aware until I saw it this morning.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to Dark Tower.
Dark Tower with Idris Elba, yeah.
And actually speaking...
Idris Elba, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
I've mentioned this before, but I'm just bragging. I'm going to see Stephen King in September.
So. Nice. That's right. I'm so jealous.
Get a book too?
Yeah, we get a free book, possibly autographed.
Nice.
So
that is going to be cool.
Go away in your luggage.
This is going to be right up in Hudson, New York.
Don't mind that carry-on. It's just Dolly.
It's heavy. I only brought a couple T-shirts.
T-shirts.
Just a couple?
Yeah.
Wow. 253.
I think he's got more than that.
In half.
It's somewhere around there.
There.
That's actually a really good guess on the number. Yeah.
Well, you had the different T-shirt a day thing working for a while there.
But I've got a bunch of new ones since I finished that run.
Good. Did you get the FC3 T-shirts yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've worn them both. I've got the Doctor Who and the Red Power Ranger.
Good deal. Good
I
deal.
need the Doctor Who one still.
Okay. I got a couple of them in my car right now, I think.
In fact, I'm saving that one for the Riff Tracks with the 5 Doctors.
Nice.
Yay.
Very cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up for now. We'll see everybody next week. We're coming up soon on another episode of the Book Club, and so we'll...
which I think we're doing a Leverage episode?
It's possible we're going to be doing a Leverage episode. I know there's a couple of other...
Becca's cheering. She must like Leverage.
I like Leverage. I got to watch through the
Sherry and Sybil are definitely binge-watching Leverage. It's back on my list, so I'll have to binge again.
Before we sign off, can I just ask, because what is Leverage? I don't know. I've missed this one. So is it a geeky thing or is it a...
It's a crime series of sorts.
It's a matter of all these this mastermind...
Timothy
Hutton pulls together a whole bunch of different criminals to go after companies and businesses and things like that. It's kind of like the modern day Robin Hood type thing.
Almost before I watch an episode, I should at least know what. And I could ask,
but it sets it all up in the pilot. We said the pilot and then the Rashomon job are the two that we were going to talk about.
It's almost like a crime-related Mission Impossible type of a series where they do obnoxious things to sting. They do obnoxious things. They break rules and they don't care because they're doing something good for somebody who deserves it, and they're beating up bad guys for it.
Because when we talked about this before, you mentioned the Rashomon job, and the first thing I thought of sounds like an episode of Firefly.
Yeah. Yeah, really it is, to a degree, So that's that. And so we'll talk more about some other stuff down the road.
There's your music.
And so for Okay, so for Billy, for Tanya, for Ian, for Becca, for Dolly, for me, and yes, I am Whoops. This has been Monkey Business for yet another week, and we love having you with us. So thanks again for listening. We are Mighty Monkey, the Mighty Monkey Corporation, purveyors and producers of the Flower City Comic-Con. Coming at you June 9th and 10th, 2018 at the Rochester Riverside Convention Center. Like us on Facebook, FC3 ROC, and we'll see you next week.